welcome back to my channel and welcome to day 3 of Vlogmas. I really hope that you've enjoyed the first 2 videos and this one is something really new for me. So I'm going to be talking about my favourite spreads through the years as the start of my Throwback Thursdays as a part of Vlogmas. I'm so excited for you to see this video. Honestly, it was so much fun to film, just going through all the different spreads that I've loved through the years of my planners, so I cannot wait for you to see them. I really hope that you enjoy, and I will link to all of the shops where I'm including the spreads from in the description down below, so make sure you go and check out these fabulous shop owners and give them some of your love. But let's get into the video. Okay, so I found all my spreads. I'm so excited to show them. That was such a lovely trip down memory lane. But before we get started, I just want to say I apologise for the random like sea life post-its. I have already filmed this video once before and I was going to blur out sections of the spread that I can't have on the internet, but YouTube was just not really working for me in doing that. It was so slow and I have so many videos to film. I have to just crack on. So I've decided to just film this again, and unfortunately I need to have the odd post-it in there. Hopefully it doesn't annoy you too much. I'm really sorry. I couldn't really work out a better way around this. So the first spread that we have is from the 27th to the 3rd of June 2016. So we're going to go from beginning to end in terms of spreads I love the most. This is in a happy planner but with black card over it because, and if you have a look out for the video that's kind of my spreads that didn't turn out how I was hoping, I have some spreads in here which will explain why I was at this point, but this was where I was at by this point. So I'd kind of been planning for maybe 4 or 5 months at this point, and I think I must have back planned this spread because I have like memories of me sitting doing it, and they weren't in the flat that I was in when I was filming this because I moved about 2 weeks after this spread. So I must have back filmed it, but I think it's just so cute. It's so different to anything else I've done since then. I have done a couple of blackout spreads earlier this year, but I dropped the blackout bullet journal very quickly, even though I love it, but it's just not that practical for me. Whereas this, I just think it did come out really well. I do actually think I plan quite nicely in blackout spreads. It's just they take forever and they smudge and all that kind of stuff, but I do think this one is really cute and I really like how it came out. I used the odd stickers, so this was back, you know, very early planning time for me. So I've got a few stickers from the Plump planner from a kit which was probably a 2-page kit. I've got the odd sort of functional sticker from her, a couple of Kina prints, 1 pot mix design, but this was like everything I owned back then. Oh, how times have changed. So yeah, I just thought it came out really cute, so I wanted to include this one. So this is spread number 1. Spread number 2 is from July 2017. So we skipped a lot because I was in just a real planner funk at this point in my life. I didn't know what was going to be my style. I wasn't really sure what was best for me. So yeah, the majority of my spreads are much later than this one, but I just really like how this one came out. It's from a time I don't much like to look back on too much. I was with somebody else then and blah blah blah. But despite that, I have really fond memories of this holiday. So this was a trip to Lanzarote that we went on with his family, and I really like this artwork. It's some of my absolute favourite artwork of all time. So I have used this kit again, and you'll see it later in this video, so sorry for spoilers, but this is the version from Planner Face. And yeah, so I have this art again, I think. So I used it in another time, and then I think I still have it as a kit to use at some point when hopefully I won't look back on a holiday and think, oh, so much life crap happened after that. That would be the ideal. I want to use it at a time when I'd be happy to look back on it. So yeah, I barely look at planners from this time, but I love this artwork. I do think I was planning very oddly. So I was using a vertical for all of, I don't know, 4 weeks or something, and I felt that vertical was too overwhelming for me, and now I look back at it I think actually I did a really good job and it looks really cute, but I really couldn't get into the vibe of vertical at the time. And why have I not included the bottom washi? That's what I really can't get over here, that I clearly did not understand
what bottom washi was for. So I entirely missed that out. I've got no sidebar, so it looks a bit odd because I've just planned those bits, but I love the artwork and I do actually think this came out pretty cute, so that's why I wanted to include it. So that is spread number 2. So for spread number 3, we're in another planner again, but we're much more in my planning groove at this point, so there'll be a few spreads from this planner. I look back on this one really fondly actually. Like when I was picking spreads for these videos, I looked through this planner and thought I was really good at planning in horizontal and I really miss it. So this was February 2018 and this was the first year that I had a horizontal planner. I planned the entire year in this planner. I was really in the groove. I did often back plan, but I look through this planner and think, actually, there's some really gorgeous spreads in here. Like, it's some of my favourite artwork is in here. And yeah, it's making me look back and think, oh, maybe I need to go back to a horizontal, which I don't think I do, because there are some downsides to planning in horizontal. And I'll talk about those in another video. But there's, you know, this week in particular, I think this is the best week I ever did in a horizontal, because it was a kit actually designed for the horizontal. So if you don't know, horizontal Erin Condren planners are shorter. The full boxes are shorter than a vertical planner, sorry. So every time I use a vertical kit in a horizontal, I had to cut the boxes down and it gets really tiring. And you know, I still can't cut in a straight line. And so this kit is from Hello Petite Paper and is actually a horizontal planner. So it came with the little lines, which we used to have in the horizontal. And I just think it looks gorgeous. This week, I apologise, the amount of post-it notes, this was a very heavy work week. So February and March in a normal year is very busy at work for me, and I have a lot of events and stuff, which I can't really show. But and the disappointing thing with this week was this was when it snowed really badly. If any of you remember that, but it was an absolute nightmare for me at work. I had to stay in a hotel this night, which wasn't planned. I don't even know if I had any stuff. And I had to stay because I had to work this event on the Friday, and I was like having to go around London with all my event stuff, and I did have my suitcase with me, so I must have had clothes. But it was just a nightmare. So it's a shame because this week underneath the post-it notes is full of cancelled stickers, and it's a bit disappointing because the kit's so lovely, and I do think I need to buy this kit again. I've just realised it's Black Friday, so I could buy it again, and do it in vertical because I think that it's so stunning. I do actually have another version of it in horizontal, but I don't use a horizontal now, so it's just kind of there, and I probably really need to destash it. If I bought it in vertical, maybe I could finally do that. So I do think it's stunning. It's possibly my favourite week ever. Maybe not compared to the vertical spreads I do now, but yeah, definitely my favourite horizontal spread I've ever done. So that is spread number 3. So spread number 4 is just a couple of weeks later in the same planner. This is using my favourite ever St. Patrick's Kit Day art, which is from Planner Face. I wish she would bring this kit back. It's probably too old now, but I friggin' love this art. It's just everything about it. I love how this week came out. I think it's so gorgeous. Again, I apologise for the amount of post-it notes, but it was another crazy work week. But it is everything about the colours, they come together so well. I was just so in the zone with planning at this point that I just feel like genuinely really proud when I look back at this planner. So wanted to make sure I included this one. So this is spread number 4. So spread number 5 is from just a few weeks later. As I said, I was really in the zone and I had a very good March 2018 in my planner. And it was another heavy work week, hence the post-it notes. But it was a really good one. I was in Cardiff for some events, and then my mum came and joined me, and that was really nice. We just had a really good time. And so I do think that sometimes the experience that you've had does influence how much you love a spread. But I also feel this was a really good example of like planner ingenuity for me, because I was using a mini kit, which I think I got in an oops bag and got twice, I think. And Anna's old mini kit format only had a few boxes, and some of them weren't even tall enough, even for the horizontal. So you can see I've got like little glitter headers here to make up the size. And so I had to bring in some extra boxes, but it was quite difficult to find matching art. And then these were Anna's first premium matte freebies. They feel so good when you stroke them because they're premium matte, and I just think they work really well. they wouldn't match many spreads personally, the artwork for these, but I think they match this spread really well. It's got so many great spring vibes. I just think it's gorgeous, and so I wanted to make sure I included this one because I think I kind of did myself proud with this week. So that is spread number 5. Then spread number 6 is the same artwork that we've already seen, so but this time it's from Plush Paperies, and then I think I have it again from Plush Paperies, and then like leftovers from the Planner Face kit. So yeah, as I said then, I definitely really look forward to using this spread at another time when I can look back on it fondly. But this was the second time we went to Lanzarote, and again, I do look back fondly on the holiday, even if kind of after this point life it went a little bit crazy, and it wasn't my best time, the end of 2018, but this spread was beautiful and I do have fond memories of the holiday. So I think that I just love this art. It's just so cute. I honestly think this is my favourite summer art and sort of holiday art, and yeah, I'm really excited to use it again. So that's spread number 6. So we've moved planners, and this was January, the first week of January in 2019, and I was still in a horizontal, and I did the entire year in a horizontal, but not this horizontal. I did about half the year in this one. But I was still, at least the early half of this year, I was still very much like in the zone, and I still really like a lot of my spreads from this time. This was using a kit from Harriet Wright Designs, and I love this kit. This girl box I particularly love because she looks like me, and I really love that. I love when I feel that a box looks like me. It gives a little bit extra something to the spread. And this was, as I mentioned, 2018, life went a bit downhill and I was out of the swing of planning. I did actually go back and back plan all of the end of 2018, but I didn't particularly enjoy it. I don't think they're my best spreads. I didn't really use kits that I really loved because I knew that it wasn't a time I ever really planned to look back on in my planners. So this was like, right, I'm in fresh start mode. I was like back at the gym a lot. I bought my desk on the Saturday. I was starting to get back into a much better place by this spread. So I wanted to include it because I think that it's quite, yeah, it's a proud one for me, but also I just love how it came out. And I got this kit for quite cheap. It was massively on sale because it wasn't the year that it came out, and I really love it. It's some of my favourite art ever. So I just think it's so cute. So I wanted to make sure I included this one. So this is spread number 7. Spread number 8 is the end of January of that year, and this was the week that I went to UKPA Big Meet. And so I do just look back on this week really fondly. I think this one is influenced by how great the memories are, but I actually hadn't included this when I filmed this video last time, and then I looked back on it and thought, actually this one's really worthy of being in there. I think it's a really cute kit. I used a lot of really lovely stickers from quite a few different people. The kit was a mix between Morello Papery and Strawberry Lime Designs. I took kind of half the boxes from each one, and yeah, I do look back really fondly on this week, I have to say, because, you know, it sometimes it's a bit bittersweet because of what happened with Erin Condren, and this is when we met Erin Condren, and that is very sad. But the other stuff, I met some really good friends, I had a really good time. It was something really different for me and was a big highlight for me of 2019. So I do look back on this one really fondly. So that is spread number 8. Is that what we're on? Yeah, spread number 8. The next up we have literally the following week from the one I just showed you, which is the first week of February in 2019. And I like to show this one because this is a kit I made myself. The reason I did this, so me and my mum went to the Chinese New Year celebration that was in London, which was incredible. And so that was a really lovely thing to mark in this planner. But also my brother's girlfriend is Chinese, and so obviously Chinese New Year is a big deal for her. So wanted to celebrate that in my planner. But nobody over here was using this art. I could have paid a lot to have it from the States, but it didn't really make sense when I thought, well, I'll have a go. And I had my silhouette and had never really used it, and I decided to give it a go, and my goodness, it was stressful. I know a lot more about the silhouette now, but designing your own kit when you haven't done it before is pretty hard going at times, and there was a lot of miscuts and a lot of me kind of every step of the way being like, Emma, can you check them, and does this look okay? But I do think it came out really well. I really like what I did with the scallop checklists. I brought in a few pieces from other stuff. So like this foil is from Morello Papery from the UK PA kit. And that just gives it a little bit of extra something. But I do think it came out pretty well for my first shot at making a kit. So I feel quite proud of this one when I look back on it. So I wanted to include this. So that is spread number... Oh, I keep forgetting. So this is spread number 8. I think. Spread number 9 is from a few weeks later. As I said, very good run at the beginning of 2019. So the week of the 18th of March, and this is using a kit from Strawberry Lime Designs. This is my favourite kit that Beth has ever done. I absolutely love it. It's just some of my favourite art. It came together really well. It's art that I often don't use in my planner anymore, but I do think this one came out so well. And I do think that as much as like, and my planner this year especially has been very colourful. Like I've gone a little bit over the top in colourful spreads and I need to tone it down a little bit. But I look back at this spread and I think where I plan the best is in pastel muted colours. I do think that those are often the spreads that look great, and this one came out so well. Definitely one of my, yeah, I mean, I was about to say one of my absolute spreads of all time, favourite spreads of all time, which is what this video is. But I think that this one is like really up there of all the ones I'm showing you. I really love this one. So that's spread number 9. Spread number 10, and the last one for this planner, is from June. And again, I apologise for the amount of post-its, but it's because June is a busy work time as well. But I couldn't not show this one. So this is a planner face kit and is one of my favourite ones that she's ever done. And I often ask for this one to come back when we do like, when Anna does sort of kits that come back from the past, because this one is adorable. I had used this one once before. I think I got this one again in an oops. So I used it in the year before. But this one I think came out slightly better, but to be honest, they're both gorgeous. I still have some spares from this, I think, but not enough for a full kit, which is a shame because it's just gorgeous. So yeah, I don't really know what else to say about it other than that I think, again, this proves that my planning in pastel is often my best work and I need to remember that going into 2021. So that is spread number 11. Spread number 12 is in January of 2020. So it's a big skip. I didn't really have any, so I switched planners midway through 2019 and the spreads at the end of that year were not my best work, and I think that I was getting to a point where I was really ready to move into vertical planning. The horizontal planners were a bit different by then. They didn't have the line. I actually think I suffered without it. And the spreads just didn't look as put together as they had when I was planning in a horizontal. And so I felt I needed a change. And my lovely friend Jill bought me this vertical planner and here we are. And now I am almost an entire year through using this planner, which is insane. But it's been a good year. This planner's very chunky now. So this spread is, the kit is by Planner Choco, and it's from when my boyfriend and I went to Paris earlier this year, and this is absolutely one of my favourite weeks ever, because it was our first holiday together and the only time we've been out of the country this entire year for obvious reasons, and so, you know, we look back on it even more fondly because of that. But I think that this was the first week where in this vertical planner I was getting into the swing of planning vertically, and I didn't actually use foil at the time. I went back and added the foil, but I think it's beautiful. It works so well. The kit is gorgeous. The art is stunning, and it's actually making me really question the art that I love, because I'm realizing that the like 3 of my spreads are with this particular art style that I don't often use, but it's really cute. I love it, and every kind of every functional sticker I added in here worked so well. And we have this gorgeous macaron, macaroon, I don't know how you say it, but yeah, I love this week. I'm so happy with it. This is definitely one of my favorite spreads ever. So that's spread number 11, 12. I don't know where we're at now. And that is spread number 12. I think we're on 12. So spread number 13 is before whiteouts. Come on, cat. Is Valentine's week of this year, and I know that this spread would not be to everyone's taste. It's very full on. Like I said, my planning style this year has been very colourful. There's been a lot of very pink spreads, and it's been a little bit over the top at times, and not always some of my best work, and not my best work, but the kits have just been so colourful, and I've got to tone it down in 2021. But I love this spread. This was my first spread. This kit's by Plan & Choco as well, and this spread it came out. I just think it came out really well. It was another spread where I felt like I was in the right place in vertical planning. I felt it was for me. I really liked everything I used. I mean, also, it's my boyfriend and my first Valentine's Day, right? So again, I have really fond memories of this week, but I like the foil. This was the first week that I planned with the foil at the same time, so I hadn't gone back and added it. And I think that came out really cute. I just love it. So that is spread number 13. And then spread number 14 is this spread from the first week of March this year. I love this kit. I know I've probably just said that this whole video, but this kit, this is possibly my favourite vertical spread in terms of how I put it together. This kit is from Strawberry Lime Designs, and it was in the Planner Face Strawberry Lime Designs countdown, Christmas countdown from the Christmas before. And it's some of my favourite art ever. I just love how it came out, and I planned this live on Instagram. So this was before I had my YouTube channel. I planned it live on Instagram in a Travelodge while I was away for work, and I had my phone like on the light on the table as a tripod, and I really enjoyed doing it. I'm really grateful to everyone who watched that video, because it started my YouTube channel, and I think it brought me closer to my community and on Instagram and things like that. So I honestly really love this week. Spread number 15 was from May of this year, and this is using a kit from Planner Face. And it's just a reminder, because I don't think I've said it at any point up till now, but if you can use my code CAT10 to save 10% off your orders, and I do get a discount for PRing for her, but you can get the 10% off, and you can add my name in notes to sellers to pick up my freebie as well. But yeah, so this was the week of VE Day here in the UK, and it's not something that I particularly participated in, but I wanted a kit that hinted at the colours from that, so it's a bit more pink than red, but I felt it worked. But I was in an absolute swing of stay-at-home kits, and that is why I still have so many kits left over at the moment, because a load of my kits got pushed because of stay-at-home art. I didn't feel I could use anything else to represent this year other than stay-at-home kits. But this one is the one that surprised me the most, because I had a really good run. I used Planner Face kits for like 4 weeks in a row around May, and every one of them was beautiful. But this is the one that surprised me in being as cute as it was, because it wasn't the art I expected to love as much. I mean, I love the croissants. Anna and I are big fans of croissants, so I like it for that reason as well. But I just think it came out really cute. I love the way the colours came together. Again, pastel, Cat, the planner is speaking to you. That's what you love. But I just love how it came together. I think I was in a really good place with my planner at this time, and so I look back on it fondly for that reason as well. So that's it. That's all my favourite spreads. I really hope you've enjoyed this. This was a lovely walk down memory lane for me. It was so nice to look back at some of my old planners, even if it's really making me miss my horizontal right now, and I need to try and not listen to that voice. But I've genuinely really enjoyed looking through these, so I hope that you've enjoyed it as well. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a like. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I would love to have you join the little family over here. And this video is part of Vlogmas, so hopefully there's going to be a video up every day for 25 days in December, and other videos in this sort of theme are going to include spreads that didn't turn out how I expected, Planner Face spreads through the years. I'm hoping to maybe do my favourite art as well, so I've got some good ideas, and I really hope that you enjoy all of these videos. And you can also find me over on Instagram at peace.love.plan. But otherwise, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.